Hey, darling, standing on top of the world. I'm the king of the world. It's Van Halen on KYMO. So a good morning to all of you out there in Radio Land. It is a Wednesday. It is a GoSEMO Fibers, SEMO Electric Wednesday. Becky's behind the camera on Facebook Live. Did you see me hit that?
Yeah.
There goes my microphone. Yeah. Lloyd Rice is right here.
Morning,
What's
Gary.
up, Lloyd?
Good
How are
morning.
you?
Good morning. It's I obviously have spring allergy voice going on here.
There's a lot of that going on
It
right
feels like I'm screaming at you.
now. Well, it's, it's the itchy, watery eyes. It's the
Lots of stuff
tickle
going
down
on,
the back
that's
of your
right.
throat. And it's that time of year. It's that wonderful time of year. The flowers are blooming and the grass is growing and everything's happening. And you go outside after you've washed your vehicle and it's yellow.
That's right. That's right.
It's got this nice powder.
And we're all
on it.
just miserable, right?
and you go, oh, that's why I'm taking Benadryl and other things right now.
You know what, Reed? But looking out this morning and breaking off Crowley's Ridge in Stoddard County, it was just a soupy mess. And right around Morehouse or so on the way over, it was like the sun broke through, and it was this real neat,
A little foggy this morning.
real foggy this morning over in God's country.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's starting to break up there. So,
Absolutely.
that's good news. A couple of things that have been going on. I mean, I think first and foremost because of just coming out of our weather segment for you guys. I know I've seen it on your websites and some of the alerts. There's a potential for spring weather, storms
Right.
tomorrow especially. We're under another a risk of severe weather, and that's something that's always in you guys' repertoire, your forethought.
Yeah, what would
your
you say?
planning.
Ever present.
Yeah, the ever-present danger. No, it's just something that you guys always kind of look out for because you're always prepared for it, and we as consumers should be prepared for it too.
So two sides to that coin, Reed, and kudos to our operations electric staff because just through time, Reed, we've gotten really good, and so that's a huge knock on wood. Because we're one tornado system away, right through the heart of the system. You know what I'm saying here, but we have a really hardy system. It is real robust. We use a class pole. That means the pole's a little fatter, a little more solid. Our operations department talked Sean in a couple of years ago to really beefing that up to a. So what that does, Reed, it just really strengthens the system. We have guy wires, and I know farmers hate guy wires, so if you mow around them, you hate them, right? But
Sure.
They're kind of that necessary evil. They're really effectively holding up the system, and we've just done things, especially since that 2009 ice storm event, when you had an opportunity to maybe look at, 40-year-old aging system, pole changes.
Sure.
Yes, we're doing all the stuff, but what's it going to take to kind of go to that next level? So, again, we're saying that that's a humble brag, and I get it. We're one event away from a week-long outage or the things that went on last month in Houston. I mean, we honestly do get it. But I do want to say that our team has really put in place the things necessary to stave all of that off that is possible. A minor windstorm, some of the stuff that we're saying, hey, be kind of on the lookout for this, has really effectively gone unnoticed. These rain events, Reed, that happen every spring, yes, but when they happen 3-4 days in a row like last week, crap, some of those old ditches, they just give way, right? And there's nothing physically able to hold a tree up any longer. And so anyway,
You're always going to run into those.
We do, and all we ask is that when we come by to have that conversation about trimming a tree, or whatever it may be, it's all with that in mind.
Yes.
That end result is keeping the lights on, keeping the fiber flowing.
And that's the thing, and know that there may be some interruption here and there, and it go, well, it ain't storming at my place while the power out.
That's right.
Well, but downstream, how the power flows, it happens
Downstream,
that way.
Upstream, somewhere
Every
within
year.
the system,
Exactly.
right?
Somewhere within the system. All right, we're going to shift gears from that to something else. Something that I'm going to give you some kudos about. You guys have been doing these small business shout-outs.
Right.
On your website, going here, especially with GoSEMO Fiber.
Right.
I think that is a fantastic thing that you're doing.
Awesome. Thanks.
One, it does highlight the service that you're doing. Sure.
Sure.
But what it also does, it gives people
Right.
an opportunity to know that maybe they weren't thinking about in this little town over here in Advance, or this town in Bell City, or this person. I think I saw one, was it yesterday or the day before, about an individual that works from home.
Right.
I think those are important stories, and they serve a lot of purposes. So kudos to you guys for those.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I mean, that, again, Reed, that spun up from at least a heart of trying to do what was right. And again, tell the story, yes, another humble brag moment. But
Sure.
it was as much about pulling them up, because we just found ourselves in this place where, what a neat little store. What a neat little story to tell. What a neat opportunity to say. And so much of that goes on, you wouldn't even know it. And we just kind of wanted to share it, right? It's some pretty crappy advertisement, probably. Me sitting there talking to you, but again, Becky and them then started to tweak it,
Yeah.
and we started to find some ways that, you know what, we can do a little of this and a little of that, and spin it more into a video and let them talk. And how awesome is that? Again, to just tell that story. You know them if they're in your town, right?
Sure you do.
You know the local florist or the local mercantile store or that, but if you're just outside of town or a newbie, you got no idea.
Well, and how many times have you been traveling around, through the region, and you pass by it, and you never think twice about it.
Don't
And
even
you're
think
like,
about
wow,
it.
maybe I should stop in there. Oh, wow, look at that little place. I bet they start. No, they really do. Now you know. It's just it's the story. Everybody has a story.
It is, Reed. And so many of our small towns, unfortunately, again, I grew up in that 80s era where you had the cafe on the corner. Heck,
Yep.
every town had 3 of them, right?
Sure.
Well, now, for whatever reason, that market has kind of shifted. It's changed. In Bloomfield, we don't even have a restaurant, per se, on the main street uptown anymore. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
pull down and you've got some options, and that's what we wanted to make sure that people know about Elderland or the Christian store uptown. Some really good pizza and breakfast stuff. Yeah,
Sure.
different than maybe, again, you and I walking down Main Street circa 86, but still
Or 76 or 66 or
still
But
a
yeah.
lot the same, right?
Yeah, it is, and we need to highlight that. So, kudos to that, and it goes back to, what you guys have been putting together. Also, too, I know basketball season has pretty much come to an end, but that was very neat. We talked about that
It
before
was,
with
right.
Channel 95 and carrying those games. And now as we look forward, big thing coming up in May for you guys.
Big thing coming up in May, our annual meeting. Again, annual, it happens yearly.
It does.
Who knew, right?
Yeah, shocking.
And
Annual.
And this one, Reed, is going to actually be that more business-oriented annual meeting. We will have voting via iPad. There will be some bylaws to consider for their approval of the membership. And again, just that opportunity to come once a year and do the business of the member-owned electric cooperative, who, oh, by the way, owns a $8 million per year fiber subsidiary. So
Right.
now this cooperative business also has birthed this little baby that is, it's not considered technically part of the membership business, but it is because it's owned by it, right?
Right.
So neat little thing there that member owners need to participate and do. Through the years, gosh, Reed, you've seen the old pictures, of tents and things and big doings. So I think you're going to find that out at the rodeo grounds on annual meeting day, it's going to be a little reminiscent of that. It's going to be spread out. You're going to see some tents. You're going to see some different places to maybe park, get out. We are surely hoping for some great weather.
Right.
And even if it's typical spring weather, make an opportunity to get out there. It's out at the rodeo grounds. It's, what that driving situation is like. It's good. It'll flow real easy. We're going to get you off the main drag real quick, and make sure you plan on being there.
And it's going to start. You're going to have a chance to throughout the day, to kind
Right.
of make your way out there. Most people, though, it'll be more of the afternoon and into the early evening, and
Right.
that's when it's running. But annual meeting coming up. What was the day again in May? Is that a great
That's
question?
a great question, because you don't have a calendar in here. It is
I do.
Thursday.
Hold on a second.
May. Come on,
I
help
want
me.
to say it was
I'm
like the
dying.
13th.
13th really sounds good to me. It's
Thursday the 13th.
Thursday the 13th.
Yep.
100%. Yes.
Because I had it in my head, it's like a week or so before the crawfish boil.
That's right.
And it was
we're,
on a
we're
Thursday.
gonna open it up at 10 a.m. just
Right.
again because we don't know what that's going to feel or flow like. If you want to come at 10, if you want to come during your noon hour,
Right.
And again, count on being there at 6 o'clock. We're going to start the business meeting. But again, any time that you've come through and registered, you've done your voting
Sure.
and your things, that the actual business, the election of the board members that are up. So really looking forward to this one. Last year, I guess somewhat inspired us to maybe think outside that norm
Right.
at the minor convention center or back in the day when it was at the Sykeston Field House.
Right.
So looking forward to this one.
Now, I also want to give one more shout out because I sit back and I watch these things. Sean, the big guy, the head honcho, has been for the last year giving like weekly,
That's right,
little inspirational things, talks, if you will, pointing out certain things. I want to congratulate him on that. Those are great. I hope they're being saved somewhere and archived.
they are.
I
They
really
are.
do.
Yeah.
Because, I think they serve an important part. And the other thing is it would have been easy to just go, yeah, well, I did a couple of weeks
Right.
and I'm tired of it.
And that's so
And
me,
he's-
right?
Yeah.
But Sean's consistent. He's a people's coach. He loves to coach people.
Sure.
It's a thing. We've all got a thing, right? And he's really good at it. And he will. I'm assuming he's writing this in a memoirs or a book or something that's going to somehow just happen to pop up, right?
You talk about being a coach. One of the things over the time that we've had these talks, you talk about SEMO Electric Cooperative and now with GoSEMO Fiber, family. You guys honor the ones that have been there for so long. You want to take care of, you really are a family and a coach. And it's just neat. I always like seeing those pop up and I go, okay, what's he got today?
So, it's very consistent, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Never varying away from the team, or so that why, if you're a Simon Sinek fan, that why in the middle of his circle it's the people that are involved. And again, like any family, we're a bit dysfunctional. We'll argue, we'll yell at each other. It's usually for the right reasons, and we'll obviously always be moving stuff forward. Mm-hmm. The common theme is to keep this thing moving forward, leaving it better than we found it. And you know what? When we're a distant memory read or whatever, hopefully we've left a really stable, because we know we're standing on the shoulders of people that really did the hard work. I mean,
yes.
we didn't get to do all of this, especially this fiber subsidiary, because unless those guys would have laid a great groundwork and a great vision and been really good and prudent board members and former employees, none of this happens.
And Becky,
Tell the great news about Anniston being released.
So Anniston,
our subzones,
Oh, yeah.
our
our
Anniston
zones.
substation, if you're a SEMO electric
right?
member owner in this area, Anniston, Dogwood, it really doesn't matter. Anywhere around the greater East Prairie metropolis, you are now effectively in service. We can hook you up. Call us for an appointment if you've been waiting.
There you go.
The wait is over.
Offices are open.
Our offices are back open. They want to see you. Call us. Plan on coming by.
Okay, so you're open again.
We're open.
Back like it was.
Becky has given the all clear sound. The horn sounded sometime last week or so. There it was.
There we go.
And we're glad, because that's
I am
us,
too.
Reed. We're
Sure.
and again, we're still taking precautions and wear a mask. Our team inside is going to wear a mask, and we're sanitizing after. Mark Hanner comes in and does a great job on our offices, keeping them clean, and the ladies will wipe it down. There are no issues, and we're
Awesome.
we're glad to be back here.
Well, they can call 877-430-5418. Go to GoSEMOFiber.com. Again, the Anniston substations, anything in this,
right.
as you said, the greater East Prairie influence. If you are a GoSEMO subscriber.
That's right.
And
you know what, Reed? Even if I'll go, this is the thing that always gets me in trouble. But if your neighbor is a SEMO electric member, we know that happens a lot around the
Sure.
East Prairie, the Highway 80 belt
Right,
coming
yep,
in,
yep.
south on BB. if your neighbor is a SEMO Electric member, call us. There's a good chance we can still reach you. We've gotten awfully creative over the last 3 years of making some things happen to get people service, even though they're not a member, but they can get our fiber optic services.
Well, bottom line is, if you have a question, ask it. Don't just, go, well, I probably can't. Go ahead and ask.
Last humble brag of the day, Reed.
Yep.
Last one. Our board gives us a lot of flexibility in to make some decisions and run. And for the last 3 years, we're just clicking along building this thing. Well, COVID hits and it changes the game on us. And this cooperative has been able to spend some money on Wi-Fi hotspots. And no matter how effective those are, Reed, because we've literally got we've got 20 out there in the area, and some are basically hanging unused. Some aren't getting used very much, and then some, crap, Becky, I haven't checked the data lately, but that's the part of this cooperative mentality. And so all that said, we've also started an ABC Connect program for those that are less fortunate, can't afford internet, and your school district lies within our service territory. We have a program to help those folks out, especially you get sent home with a school tablet, a Chromebook, and we're going to get that service up and going. Won't bore everyone with the details, but we're going to make it happen. Our board lets us do that and spend money on some of that stuff, Reed, that makes no business sense. It makes I've never once been asked about a payback period or any of that. And what's happened is we have this thing, if it's the right thing to do, they just stink and let us do it.
Yep.
And I couldn't be more thankful to not have somebody wagging in a clipboard or something making me explain why that's not going to add up. Because most of the time, Reed, it just doesn't. But sometimes when it's the right thing to do at the right time for folks.
Sure.
And again, saying all this very humbly, but the Missouri State I'm getting it wrong, Superintendent's Association is going to present us with a Friends of Education Award.
Awesome.
And I think most of it's due to that. Maybe some other stuff, when Kelly or East Prairie and the whole Channel 95 thing, it's funny because you kind of get to speak these ideas together into existence, and everybody's got to run around doing it, right? But how cool it's been to carry the East Prairie Advance game.
Yeah.
In a year where nobody's going to get to go to that game, and we've carried some playoff games where limited tickets just weren't going to let people go, and we're going to do some baseball this spring, and that's going to look really weird. It's going to be cool, and I have no idea. Volleyball and football coming in the fall. We can't wait for that local, and again, don't ask me how to monetize that, Reed, because I don't know.
Right.
We're
just part of what you do. It's just being in the community.
And so fortunate to be at a cooperative, a situation where that's not the bottom line. That's not. So again, that's a 10-minute conversation. Again, another humble brag, but appreciate that opportunity.
Sure.
And it only comes because of friends like you and others that kind of share into that. They get it, and then they'll ask, and we're able to do some stuff. If we'll ask around and think a little bit, we may end up building a fiber optic network on a electric co-op in southeast Missouri, right?
You never know. You never know. Lloyd, congratulations on all that.
Thank
and
you.
again, we'll talk again here in the coming weeks.
Yep, big weeks coming
we've got
for
the
us.
annual
Big spring
meeting coming, and just lots of things happening with you guys and GoSEMO Fiber and SEMO Electric. Becky, thank you. Lloyd,
Always.
thank you.
Thank you, Reed.
Talk at you soon. That is our Wednesday chat with our friends at GoSEMO Fiber and SEMO Electric here on Just Another Morning Show.